The city was a labyrinth of shadows and light. Skyscrapers clawed at the sky. Below, Samuel, a young courier, navigated the crowded streets. He was invisible, just another face in the throng. His life was a series of deliveries, each package a story he'd never read. Samuel's phone buzzed. A high-priority delivery, the address, a skyscraper that pierced the clouds. He entered a world of polished marble and disdainful stares. This was the domain of billionaires, men like Richard Dalton. Dalton was everything Samuel was not. Powerful, arrogant, untouchable. He snatched the package, his face a mask of boredom. "You should try harder, kid," he sneered, glancing at Samuel's worn-out shoes. "This city eats people like you alive." Samuel felt a surge of anger, hot and immediate. But he swallowed it down. He was nobody. Dalton was the king of this concrete jungle. The following week, fate intervened. Samuel was making a delivery in the city's financial district. A crowd had gathered. At the center stood Dalton, his face contorted in anger. He was berating a street vendor, his voice dripping with disdain. "Get this trash out of my sight!" Dalton roared, kicking over the vendor's cart. The crowd gasped. Samuel watched, a familiar rage building inside him. Dalton turned, his eyes sweeping over the crowd. They landed on Samuel. A cruel smile spread across his face. "You!" Dalton called out, pointing at Samuel. "You know what it's like to struggle, don't you? Tell everyone, how pathetic is it to be a nobody in the city?" The crowd turned their attention to Samuel. He felt a wave of shame wash over him, but this time something was different. That night, a fire ignited within Samuel. He would no longer be invisible. He would no longer be a nobody. He spent every free moment in the public library, devouring books on electronics and engineering. His small apartment transformed into a workshop, filled with wires, circuit boards, and the hum of invention. Years blurred by in a flurry of sleepless nights and relentless work. Samuel poured all his energy, all his anger, into his creation, a revolutionary device that could change the way people communicated. He called it the Echo. It was his masterpiece, his revenge. The Echo was a sensation. It was sleek, intuitive, and affordable. People embraced it, ditching their bulky devices for Samuel's creation. His company, Phoenix Technologies, rose from the ashes of his former life. He was no longer Samuel the courier, he was Samuel the CEO, a self-made success story. Meanwhile, Richard Dalton's star had begun to fade. His risky investments soured, his empire crumbled. The man who once held court in a skyscraper was now reduced to whispers in the financial pages. His name, once synonymous with success, became a cautionary tale. One rainy afternoon, Samuel found himself staring out the window of his corner office. The city stretched before him, no longer a labyrinth, but a chessboard where he now held the power. A figure appeared in the doorway. It was Dalton. His face was etched with lines, his eyes holding a flicker of desperation. "Samuel," Dalton began, his voice hoarse. I need a job. I've lost everything." Samuel looked at the man who had once humiliated him, the man who represented everything he had overcome. The city lights flickered outside, casting long shadows across the room. The tension was palpable.